Hey man, same man. It's your boy Ink in the Brain, man. We back at like a bad habit. Shout out to everybody who rock with me. I mean, salute to the new subscribers, man. Appreciate y'all. If y'all like the content, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, man. If you ain't subscribed already. All right, so look, we got another episode of my prison story. If you haven't caught the previous videos, make sure you double back to see what led me up to this point. But long story short, I caught an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon charge, and I was facing 5 years, but I ended up getting down to 2 years, right? So boom. So I'm in the county. I'm waiting to get shipped off to prison. I can't wait to get out the county. The county is trash. It's a bunch of dope fiends in there throwing up. You got motherfuckers. You got cell bangers who basically cell bangers somebody who talks crazy behind a cell, and then like there was this white boy who was talking crazy to this other white boy from the top to the bottom. And then white boy on the bottom, like, okay, yeah, we'll see in the morning. Wait till they pop the gate, right? They pop the gate. Everybody go out in the morning to get their set. Let alone, let's just say the other guy, he didn't come out for chow that night because he actually ended up rolling up like in the middle of the night. So I don't know if he was scared of the other white dude or what, but you know, I'm seeing stuff like this happen, and I'm just like, bro, I'm ready to get out of here. County does trash. Like I said, you got hella heroin addicts in there throwing up all night, and you know, it's just crazy. So I'm ready to get up out of here. So pretty much, yeah, I did 14 days in there before they rolled me up to take me to processing, which if you're in Arizona and you got to go to prison, they're going to send you to Alhambra. Alhambra is technically a prison yard, but it's really reception. Reception is when they're gonna put you in there, they're gonna house you, and then they're gonna do a lot of tests on you, a lot of medical tests. You know, they're gonna check your blood, do your blood work, and give you an age test and all this stuff, right? And they're gonna assess you based on your charges and your criminal history and things like that. They're gonna assess you whether they're gonna put you on a 2-yard, a 3-yard, or 4-yard, you know, or a super max. So. And essentially Alhambra is a 1-yard, which is like the lowest you can go. But that's pretty much that, right? I'll touch on Alhambra more in the next video, but just to give y'all a brief idea, that's where my next destination is after the county. So boom, so they rolled me up. Yeah, it's time for you to go to DOC. I'm like, cool. And you feel me? By this time, I'm real hungry. I lost like 14 pounds because I refused to eat the slop. I was only eating the apples and stuff in the morning, and maybe a little bit of rice in the bullshit broccoli stems at night. But man, I was in bad shape. I was hella hungry, but I was like, man, it is what it is. I'm just ready to get up out of here. So yeah, they brought me up probably at like 2 o'clock in the morning, 2:30. I walked down the tier, went outside the door. There's a little nurse there. And then you know, they take your take your blood pressure and all this stuff. At this time, COVID was going on, so you know, they had to give me a COVID test. Like, I really would have probably been out of the county jail within maybe 7 days, but because of the virus, it delayed me 14 days because I had to take a test and then wait for at least 14 days for quarantine before they could ship me out. And throughout this whole quarantine thing, you're gonna hear me talk about this because I was locked up in the time of quarantine, right? Or the time of at the time of the virus. So boom. So basically, yeah, they lead me down. They lead me down to get transferred. I'm actually going. So you go from the county to this place called LBJ, which is Lower Buckeye Jail. So that's where I'm going next. Actually, not Alhambra quite, but yeah. So whoever else was going from that jail to processing was with me. I met this Mexican cat in the first holding cell we was in. He was cool, a little youngster. He had to do like 3 years, and he was telling me about how he ended up spending, because he was locked up in the county jail for like a year or something, and he spent like $3,500 on commissary. I'm like, damn. And later on, when we got to LBJ, he actually showed us the receipt in his paperwork. But I was like, damn, bro, you spent like $3,200 or $3,500, whatever it was, over $3,000 just on bullshit, tunas and soups and this shit. So, yeah, man. So I opened my eyes right there. I'm like, damn, I'm about to have to cash out on this bullshit because I'm not gonna eat this. If prison food is anything like this, I'm not gonna be eating. So, luckily I had my affairs in line. I already had money set up. So, but I was like, damn, I guess I'm gonna be getting taxed in there for this food. But yeah, so they cuff you up, they shackle you up, they put you on a bus, and then they put us on a bus. So the bus was full, man. It probably was at least probably like maybe 70, 80 people on that bus or something like that. But I'm cuffed up, I'm shackled, I'm not talking to nobody. I'm just glad to be getting out of jail. But I'm overhearing every conversation on the bus. People are going back to the joint for their third, fourth bid, and I hear this white boy in front of me talking about how he loves meth, and meth is what got him in here, and yeah, I've been smoking meth since I was 14 and all this shit, teeth missing and all this shit. I'm like, yeah, welcome to prison, bro. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna hear a lot of bullshit conversations when you're in transport, you're on the bus. You're gonna hear a lot of that bullshit, man. And it's just so stupid. Like, what's up, man? Oh, man, I ain't seen you for years, man. Oh, so you're back locked up, man. Where you go? Oh, okay. Well, if you happen to go to this yard, make sure you tell so-and-so I love him and all that. I'm like, oh, bro, just like you niggas. Okay, so that's what I'm dealing with on the transport bus, hearing these dumbass conversations. And transport is like one of the worst parts about incarceration, man, because it's like you can't move, so you're shackled by your wrists and your legs, and you can't move like hardly, like just like this, but like it's bad, man. So your back is gonna be hurting because you're gonna be in transport for some hours, potentially, even when you get sent to the yard. So, but that's another story. So, yeah, man. So they sent me to Lower Buckeye Jail along with everybody else, and so now the process is moving, and we in a big holding cell. It was me, pretty much a lot of Mexicans. There was a couple blacks though. But I was sitting in front of this light-skinned cat named X, and shout out to X, you feel me? X is a super solid youngster. I really like X, but I didn't know him at the time, but he actually came in on a page 2, and a page 2 is basically if you locked up and another case pops up, then they page 2 you. So you gotta go back to the county to fight the case or plead out or whatever the case is, right? So he was in there on page 2. I didn't know at the time, but I could tell and like I said in the previous video, hopefully if you watch this video, you'll never get arrested or have to go to jail or join the prison, right? But what I tell you, you gotta peep the scene, peep people's energy and their body language, right? So when I'm in the holding cell with everybody, everybody's talking and shit. X is in front of me, but he just chilling. He just mind his business, just silent. But he got some size on him, you feel me? And like he got like prison ink. I could tell he got some prison ink on it, but his shit was clean though. I'm like, okay. I'm like, and he had on the prison slides too, but I'm like, I didn't know at the time, but I could tell. I'm like, bruh, I don't know. You feel me? He must be locked up for a while in the county or something, but it turns out he been down for like 3.5 years already in prison. So, but I'm kind of peeping how his mannerisms are, right? So I'm like, okay. I didn't know by name or anything. We didn't introduce ourselves or anything like that. But people just talking, and you hear people talk about their cases. Black dude, another dude named T. He had a missing tooth, and he had caught an aggravated assault on a police officer, and he showed us the paperwork. And I guess he had got pulled over or something by the police, and the police had pulled him out the car and was rough with him or something like that. And he headbutted the police. And he showed us the pictures and the police, his face all bloody and all this shit, right? And so he showed it, he laughed about it. He like, yeah, I got 2.5. Whoa. So I'm just like, man, these niggas crazy, man. So you see, like I said, I'm not no gangster, right? I'm definitely not no swear, but farthest thing from a thug or a gangster, but you're gonna hear a lot of this stuff, right? And it's just crazy how prison is gonna condition you to the wild stuff you hear. You feel me? Because at first I'm like, man, that's a wild story, but really that's light. You feel me? Knocking a police officer out and catching an aggravated assault, that's like light. You feel me? But it was just funny how nonchalant he was because he had to go. He actually just got done doing a bid too. He had to go that. But anyway, so I'm hearing all these stories and stuff, and this Mexican cat, he got snitched on by one of his co-defendants, and he got all his paperwork, so he's telling everybody his name, and if you see him on this yard, he's all bad and whoop. I'm just like, yeah, this is prison shit right here, you feel me? talking about how your co-defendant snitched on you and shit. But so yeah, man. So you know, so we in the holding cell for maybe 3 or 4 hours. You know, and you know, so that's pretty much it, man. So I'm on my way to Alhambra. You feel me? And it feels good to finally be on the way there and get out the county jail, and you know, but I'm kind of just realizing like, okay, you know, get used to hearing this crazy shit that you hear, you feel me? Because you're gonna be around this shit all day. So yeah, so you know, so that's pretty much, you know, my county jail experience. I mean, there's some things I left out which maybe I'll touch on in future videos, but nothing too crazy in the county. Long story short, you know, like I said, people ducking fades and cell banging, and you know, so I'm just like, man, people ain't as hard as what they say they are, man. People put on this act and portray like they hard and shit, but they're really not. The quiet ones are who you need to look out for. The ones who bark and they don't got no bite, you know what I'm saying? They're really not no factors like that behind the walls, right? So, but yeah, man, I'm gonna leave it right here, man. Next story is gonna be, you know, my Alhambra experience, you know, going through processing, the crazy shit that went on behind there. Because when you hit Alhambra, really, you're typically supposed to be in and out of there within 3 to 4 days. It's just processing. You're supposed to be in and out. But due to the virus and due to other circumstances that happened in there, which I'm gonna touch on in the next video, I was in there for 37 days. So, which is unheard of. Nobody stays in Alhambra for 37 days. So it was complete madness in that motherfucker. Tensions were running high because of the virus and things like that were going on. So I'm gonna touch on that in the next video, man. But hey, this is your boy Inky the Brain Man. Thanks for tuning in. Y'all like to comment and subscribe if you like the content. And I'll catch you on the next one, man. Y'all be smooth.